Hi, Trevor here, Life Reflection Requests. Thank you for stopping by. Well, I know I said we are going to go into Art Garfunkel next time, but I'm going to break into the series and look at this request I was given today. Christopher George Latour Wallace was born in 1972 in Brooklyn, and it was around 1993 that he was signed to Bad Boy Records when that label started. Now, Christopher is known professionally as the Notorious B.I.G or Biggie for short. He's considered the greatest rap artist of all time. So that's a pretty amazing accolade right there. Very influential in the East Coast hip hop scene and also gangster rap. And so very much wearing your heart on your sleeve, just calling it as it was and being able to get your lyrics out there. This guy had an incredible influence in his short life. There were was an album released in 1994, and there was a bit of a shock to the world on the 8th of March 1997 that the Notorious B.I.G was involved in a drive-by shooting, and he was only the age of 24. Who knows why these things happen? Obviously, he had upset somebody or someone had upset him, but there was a bit of a feud that enabled that drive-by shooting to happen. And certainly in the rap world, it kind of paused at this point just to realise, gosh, what can actually happen? The Notorious B.I.G, and true to his name, he's not scared to say that things need to be said. He's very much influenced by a life of hardship and criminality, and also alongside of that, a debauchery and a celebration of life. And this is very much the case for him. Very much a rag to riches story, this one. He did life pretty hard growing up, but as he found a bit of voice and he found his voice in the world, it became more and more popular and became rather successful. So an album released in 1994, and then around 6 weeks after his death, another album was released. Posthumously, an album in 1999, 2005 and 2017. There's been 2 compilation albums and 27 singles. And in 2009, a biopic movie came out called Notorious, giving it a little bit more of a credence to considered the best rapper of all time. Now, the song I was asked to look at today is Suicidal Thoughts. Now, we're getting into very, very fragile territory here, because the minute you mention the word suicide, all sorts of thoughts and ideas and all sorts of things that pop up. And it's interestingly off the album Ready to Die from 1994. So gosh, it's almost like he knew something was about to happen some 2 or 3 years later. And just interestingly, Ready to Die is considered a very influential album indeed. In fact, Rolling Stone put it number 22 of the best 500 albums of all time, and number 1 hip-hop album of all time. Incredible critical acclaim, and incredibly well and successful and influential album, this one. Suicidal Thoughts, by the way, is the last track on the album, so that's just telling you something right there. I've been asked to make a bit of a comment on this today, and what do I think? Well, let's not get into the right and wrong about suicide to start with. I think that's the last thing that we want to do. But I'll speak to you right now that if you're watching this video and maybe you are thinking about this thing of, well, I want to end it all because kind of life sucks as I know it really. You may have bought the stuff. You may have planned how you're actually going to do it. Can I just make a suggestion to you? I'm not going to try and talk to you out of it. I'm just going to say, look, have a think about it, right? Because you could be watching this video thinking, wow, how did he know that I was just thinking about doing this thing? Well, first of all, it's way too common these days. Too many people commit suicide these days, so it's nothing new, nothing original. There's probably no statement that's going to be made here either. And life is really, really precious. I know you may be thinking right now, perhaps it isn't, and you just want to end it, but you're a beautiful person, and you're a person of worth and a person of value, and you deserve happiness like everyone else. So it could be this is an opportunity for you just to stop the emotional brain happening a bit at the moment and to think for a second and say, hey, what am I doing? Do I really need to do this? Do I really need to do it? Hopefully this video will give you a chance to just have a think and to reconsider the choice you're about to make. And if you do decide that you don't want to go through it, well, first of all, throw the stuff in the bin that you bought. Secondly, tell someone. Perhaps not a friend, but a just trusted, wise person. There's always one of those people in your life, and just have a chat to them. They may have to talk to somebody else because it's a bit of a thing but it's better to talk to someone, bring it into the light, because suicide very much is done in the darkness when no one else is looking. You bring it into the light and it can be dealt with. So that would be my hope for you today, that you reconsider what you might be doing. And for families out there who have gone through this thing as well, man, I can't even start to imagine what you're going through right now. Of course, the why question is pretty big. There may be no answer to the why question. Often it goes along the lines of, we had no idea it was coming. We thought everything was fine. Well, pick up on the little clues and the little nuances of comments that come out, and there may be something bigger going on behind the scenes. And, again, back to the person who might be thinking about it, your family may want to know this stuff, hey? I know it's probably the last person you want to tell, but they may want to know this stuff so that you can kind of get together on this thing. Life is complicated and life is tricky and life is hard. It can be hard, and sometimes we need the Notorious B.I.G with the lyrics. And let's face it, these lyrics are pretty full on. I'll just warn you about that before you click on the link below. They are pretty full on. And in typical Notorious B.I.G style, he does not hold back on all sorts of colourful words. But sometimes you've got to get the colourful words in there to make a point. And this is absolutely what's happening right here. You're not the Notorious B.I.G for no reason. You have chosen to be that way because you're trying to make a difference in your small part of the world. Or in the case of Notorious B.I.G, his big part of the world. So, if you are thinking about it, can I get you to have a rethink about whether it's the best option for you? If you're on the receiving end of suicide, that is, you're the family, man, the thoughts are really, really with you, and man, there's just no answer to the why question. Sometimes there isn't really. So, I trust that will kind of be a bit of a wake-up call for everyone today. Encouragement's not really the right word to use. It's more like a bit of a wake-up call today. And sometimes rap has just got this way of sneaking in and saying the words that need to be said. So let's get on to the clips. So we do have a static clip on this one. There is no live version of this one, unfortunately. And so we've got that one. And I thought I'd also drop a link into the lyrics for this song as well, because, sometimes rap can be a little bit hard to follow. And so I just thought I'd chuck the lyrics in there for you to have a look at as well. Again, just be aware they are rather confronting and in typical Notorious B.I.G style, pretty colourful with its words as well. So just be warned before you watch it. We then got Juicy. This also came off the Ready to Die album of 1994. And this is very much more along the jubilation part of his style. Very much a rag to riches story. The teacher said he wasn't going to amount to anything and all the rest of it. And look where he is now. He's living the dream. So we've got Juicy. We again got Big Poppa, also off the Ready to Die album. This is more along, I suppose, along that having a good time part of who he was. bit of a celebration of life and what you can do when you've got friends around you and the whole nightclub scene, and just really get into that whole vibe of doing life with other people. So we got the official clip on that one. Now, in 2005, Puffy and Snoop Dogg, who had a lot to do with Notorious B.I.G. getting off the ground and establishing his career, they did a bit of a tribute to him in 2005. Now, what's really, really cool about this clip is it's actually an orchestra with the Notorious B.I.G. doing the rap on the video screen. So that's pretty poignant right there, and a wonderful tribute to what is deemed one of the greatest rappers of all time. So the links to those 1, 2, 3, 4 songs and the lyrics are in the description below. I'm not going to include the video from last time. I'll just let this one sit on its own, just given the significance and I suppose the poignancy of this particular request. And thank you to this guy who made the request today. I hope I've done it justice, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to have a think about this guy. So if this is your first time, or if you come back for another video in Life Reflections through Music, thank you very much for doing so. Well, that's it for today. Next time we'll get back onto Art Garfunkel. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.